If you have $5 million to spare, can you please call Manny Moonraker at UFO Buster Radio, number 972-290-1329. Cue the music. Hey, this is UFO Report number 61. I am your host, Manny Moonraker. And I got a couple of stories for you, one of them having to do with $5 million. And listen, if you got $5 million, give me a shout out. Help a guy out. I'll share it with you, what the money's for. We'll cover that in our second story for today. But before we get to any stories, let's talk about the 2017 Rubber Dickies. And let's break down who is in the lead for the Rubber Dickie Award. Who is it that you guys see as the 2017 Rubber Dicker of the Year? So let's count it down from the top. In the first spot, leading the pack, is Jaime Maussan. That's right, the man with the Peru mummies, three-fingered, no-good-nick thingies. He's in first place. Tied for second is Stan Romanek and Corey Good. It's almost hard to kind of draw a correlation between the two, but hey, they're equally as rubber dickish. They're tied for second place. Bringing up the rear, behind them, in third place, is Tom DeLonge. Apparently his recent announcement about his little Star Academy kind of rubbed some people the wrong way because he came across as a major rubber dicker. Way to go, Tom. And after that, we have, in order, Stephen Greer, Mr. Reptilian himself, MUFON, NASA, and Igor Asher Belly. How surprising that Igor is in last place. But I guess we all need a little utopia in our lives, and maybe Igor's plan is not so bad. To hell it ain't. If you haven't had a chance, go to ufobusterradio.com. Look for the poll question on the page. Like I said, no special effects, no frills, no forcing you to do anything other than picking 3 of your favorite rubber dickers for this year, clicking vote. About the only crazy thing that'll happen is that it'll show you a recap or a total count of who's leading. It might be your vote that's going to change who's going to win the 2017 Rubber Dickies. Don't be left out. We count it. Place your vote. Otherwise, Jaime, he's going to get a nice fancy award for rubber dicking us with his recent stories. Now let's move on to another story. This one is pretty short because it really is a recap of UFO craziness over the last maybe 14 years from 2001 to 2015. The title of the story, which was run by Fox News, is the top 25 cities for UFO sightings across the U.S. Apparently, this list is going to tally for you some important data, which is UFO sightings. You may live in one of these cities, and if you do, and you don't see anything, you're missing out. And I'm going to guess that this report came from Newfork, because you're able to go in there and actually pull out some of this data and kind of tally up all the sightings by city, by state. So I'm going to just go over the top 10 cities because, who cares about the other 15? If you're worried about the other 15 because you might be in one of those, the link to the article is in the description. Check it out. The total list is 25. And I know that the particular city that I live in is actually listed in the other 15. So there you go. I miss the sightings all the time. I'm always seeing them reported after the fact, 1 or 2 days later. And some of them have been, I want to say, within miles, less than 10 miles from where I'm at. And I never see these things. So you're not alone. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 on the list is our favorite UFO city, Phoenix, Arizona, with 929 sightings since 2001 through 2015. I don't think it's any surprise there. I mean, come on. Phoenix, Arizona, it's a hotbed for UFOs, and it has been, period. No bones about it. Like I've said before, especially when Big O was around, when it comes to Phoenix, Nevada, and that little area, including New Mexico, that part of the desert area, it's crazy out there. City number 2 is Las Vegas with 639 sightings. I don't know about you, but I never hear Las Vegas being so popular with UFO sightings. And I can understand, it's a party city. People are doing all kind of stuff out there on the strip and so forth. So I don't know. Is this more about celebrating alcohol, partying, things like that? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But 639 coming up in second, and not even close. I mean, we're talking about almost 300 sightings difference between Las Vegas and Phoenix. So, hey, thanks Las Vegas, but you're number 2 in this case. Number 3, Seattle, 616 sightings. Chicago, number 4 with 562. And let me tell you, Dave in the Morning Show, Dave, Marty, I knew you guys were from 4.2 far. There is just no way that you guys are not from 4.2 far. I knew it from the beginning that you guys had some kind of an alien ET connection, because every time Dave reads the word probe, he giggles. And there's a reason for that. He's giggling for a reason, and probing is not a giggling matter. So I'm on to you guys. After Chicago, we have Portland with 528, Los Angeles 525, and that probably had a spike over the last couple of years, if you know what I mean, due to some wacky weed. Tucson with 480, Arizona again, San Diego 477, California, Houston 466. Is that due because NASA is in Houston? You guys got to ask yourselves that question. Is there some experimental crafts flying around Houston that people are mistaking for UFOs? And rounding off the top 10 cities is Denver, Colorado with 429. And we know that south of Denver is NORAD and that Colorado Springs area, which could attract visitors from 4.2 far interested in what's happening along those mountains. So there you go. That's your list. That's the top 10. Like I said, if you want to see the top 25, click on the link. You can look at the other cities. You might be living in one of those. You might be living in one and you actually saw something and you had no idea that you were living in one of the top 25 cities for UFO sightings. It's a cool story. Check it out.
Coming to you from the hills of Texas right here. UFO Buster Radio is now on the air. You can visit Manny and Big O at UFOBusterRadio.com. That's right, this is Bubba Doohickey saying, boys, squeal like a pig. Oink, oink, oink.
Alright, so the next story is titled, Man Desperately Trying to Sell His Alien-Infested Ranch. There is only one ranch, and we've talked about this on this podcast before, that is alien-infested. And if you haven't guessed it, it is the Arizona ranch just outside of Phoenix, known as Stardust Ranch. So we know that John Edmonds, who is the owner of Stardust Ranch over in the Rainbow Valley, which according to the article is an hour west of Phoenix, has been someone that's attracted a lot of attention when it comes to the paranormal and ufology. So much so that we know that Robert Bigelow, Mr. Moneybags, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate comments just because I said Mr. Moneybags, because the last time I did a story on Robert Bigelow, people went nuts on YouTube with some negative comments. The guy's a freaking moneybag. Get over it. Period. He's using his money to get information, not for you. He's not helping you a damn bit. He's doing it for himself. Because when Robert Bigelow was there with his cronies for a month to study all the activity, once the activity subsided, he took off. He created the National Institute for Discovery Science just to go gather the information, and then he took it and saved it behind a protected server with a bunch of redundant stuff that apparently still gets information coming in from reports that people make to the Federal Aviation. As a matter of fact, if you call them, they will tell you to give Robert Bigelow a call. I mean, come on, you can't write this stuff. The guy, yes, he's making money. Yes, he's doing something for space tourism. But the information that we're here about, he's keeping for himself. This is the issue I have with rich people, because it seems to me, and let me just throw this out because I'm getting derailed here in this article. It seems to me that people like Tom DeLonge, Igor Asherbelly, Robert Bigelow, and the rest of the moneybags, they're trying to make a new Illuminati, basically. This is the new Illuminati of the future. The ones that are trying to, at all costs, grab this information, keep it behind closed doors for themselves in order to grow what they're trying to do. There is nothing across these guys that I've just mentioned and anybody else that fits that category that is showing any type of transparency with people. I mean, hell, Robert Bigelow straight up, he's keeping it for himself. Whatever information he gathered, we're not going to see it. Can I guarantee you that it's going to be the same with everyone else? So don't get mad just because they're money bags, because the truth is they may just be also worse rubber dickers than Stan Romanek. So getting back to the story, Mr. Edmonds is trying to get rid of this ranch. He's tired of it. He even posted a picture on his Facebook account where he had a bloody sword, samurai sword to be exact, on the floor by a pool, which allegedly, supposedly, was used to stab a gray, which was not so very nice to him, which he's showing as evidence that the place really is, 4.2 far infected, and it's worth every single bit of the $5 million. And there is a second link I'm going to have in here besides the article. It's a link to a report that was written in 2009 regarding an analysis that was done of that samurai sword and the so-called blood that they found on it. It's a fascinating little article. Check it out. It's in the link. It's not very big. It mentions George Knapp and Robert Bigelow, of course, moneybags. But it's cool what their conclusion is. I'm sure you'll be interested in it. If you take the chance to read it, it's entertaining. But nonetheless, if you have $5 million, contact UFO Buster Radio and we'll do this together. We'll make it the UFO Buster Radio Playhouse. Every single listener can show up. All you gotta do is bring your mobile phone, show that you have UFO Buster Radio played on your phone, and you can come in and chill out. But all we need is $5 million to take this thing off this guy's hands. Now, Robert Bigelow took off way back when he did his study because there was no activity. Not sure if there's any activity now, but I guess if we can find the actual posting for the sale, we'll be able to find out. But in the meantime, we'll just see who buys it. I don't see why Moneybags doesn't buy this place for $5 million. It's like, he got what he wanted out of it and he took off. He's like, screw you, Edmonds, you idiot. I'm richer than you'll ever be. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being negative. Or maybe not. They're just a bunch of rubber dickers and we know it. So that's the story. It's up for sale. Go get a loan, folks. Let's buy this puppy. But if you're interested in continuing the saga with UFO Buster Radio, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Join UBR Truth Seekers, the Facebook group, which is pretty active and kind of gets into some heated discussions every blue moon or so. But they're fun, they're hilarious, and it's all in good fun because, we all know it's a mystery. We're not going to solve it by being dickheads with each other. We just got to discuss it openly and accept that other people have varying opinions. With that said, I'm checking out. Sayonara, muchachos. May the force be with you. And that's how the West was won. Ciao.